we need to talk about Danica. Today in Phoenix, Arizona, she made it official. She is coming to NASCAR.
Yes, for breaking news that will shock the world. I am excited to finally announce, we're excited to finally announce that GoDaddy will be taking me full-time into NASCAR next year. It'll be a full-time nationwide program with Junior Motorsports and the number 7 Chevrolet, and a partial schedule in Sprint Cup with Stewart-Haas Racing. I have to say that the first time that I got out of the car at the ARCA race in Daytona, it was the most fun I had ever had in a race car. Probably had to do with the bumping, but it was the most fun I'd ever had in the car, and I think that really started it all, and it went from there.
That announcement makes it official. Danica Patrick is coming to NASCAR full-time next season, and I can't be the first, but I will be the next to welcome Danica Patrick to NASCAR. And Danica, I guess I heard you talk about what was in your heart. So why the move to NASCAR after 6 full years in IndyCar racing?
Well, this is the 7th actually in IndyCar, and but I just really enjoy driving the cars. I enjoy racing the cars. I enjoy the challenge. I like how the car changes over a race. I like how the track changes. I like how many pit stops there are and the strategy of pitting for tires at the end or maybe not, keeping track position. There's just a lot of really interesting things I think that make a race, and I like racing them, and that's what my decision really came down to.
Danica, all racers want to be in good equipment. They want to be with a good team. What is it about Dale Earnhardt Jr. and his team that makes you feel that, hey, I'm in the right place as far as NASCAR is concerned?
Well, it was a really good opportunity that came about very much because of GoDaddy and the relationship that they had with Dale Earnhardt Jr. and Junior Motorsports. So that was kind of the first phase. And then next was, learning from Dale and learning from Tony Eury Jr., who's been a really, really great teacher. I just feel like I've been really lucky to be in an organization with that kind of infrastructure and that kind of talent and knowledge and experience that can help somebody like me who's starting with no experience and really no background on what I should know or what I should expect even.
You had a great run at Daytona at the end of June, and Elliott Sadler told me off camera that you had made tremendous improvement. That's on the plus side. What are your biggest concerns? What do you need to work on the most as you make this move?
Well, I think the consistency in the car is probably going to change some things. Just getting up to speed quicker, having been at these tracks and going back for a second time within the year even, let alone just a second time at all. So I think that will help the qualifying, and I think that will help the early parts of a race where I might kind of be a little bit more timid at this point because I'm unfamiliar or haven't been there before. So I just think familiarity is going to hopefully help me get up to speed faster. But I think there's some challenges that will kind of show themselves over time with this different, more consistent approach.
Danica, I heard a radio interview you did, gosh, it's been 20 months ago. You've been very humble about your approach to NASCAR, saying it might be a leap that people think I'm going cup racing, but I need to find out myself if I can do it. So obviously you feel like you can. Talk about your commitment on the cup side. I know the details haven't been worked out, but give us an idea of what that will entail.
Yeah, it's probably going to be about 8 to 10 Sprint Cup races this year or next year. I'm not sure which ones they're going to be yet. Obviously, Daytona's in the mix, and many others, of course, as there's a much bigger schedule to consider. But I don't think the schedule's out yet, isn't that? So we're not sure what they're going to be, but it'll be somewhere around 8 to 10. And I think the idea will be to, challenge myself and learn the toughest tracks.
Do you know whether or not, to schedule aside, if you're going to run the Daytona 500, or is that still one of the races that you don't know about yet, given the schedule?
Yeah, still unsure if that's one I'm going to run. I'd like to. I think that there's a lot of people that think it's a great idea, but there's a lot of things that go into making those decisions about which sort of 8 to 10 I'm going to run in. So, only time will tell on that. And as I was saying earlier in our press conference, everything from what number is going to be on the car to which races I'm going to do, there'll be announcements trickling out throughout the year, I'm sure.
Danica, you also said that the Indianapolis 500 is such an important event to you. Do you know if you'll be able to run that, or do you want to run that this coming season?
Well, I love the Indy 500. I think it's the greatest race in the world. So I'd like to run it, but I'm not really sure at this point. And I really have been as honest as I possibly can be in all my interviews. But it's a complicated, just process, and there's a lot of things that have to be considered, and there's a lot of people involved. I mean, clearly we were working on multiple contracts to get to this point so that we could announce anything. So, these things are they're just tough. So, whether I run it or not, I'm not sure.
Danica, congratulations. We're looking forward to having you around a lot more often.
Thank you. I'm excited to be coming.